Morning to all of you. We are going to start the webinar now. At the outset, I would like to first thank you everyone and welcome everyone for joining us today. My name is Rahul Mishra and I'll be presenting and moderating this webinar. Today, we'll be talking about innovations to support operations while in partial lockdown. So the agenda of this webinar is twofold here. One is to understand the current situation and challenges the industry is facing currently, and also to know what all solutions we can adopt to overcome the challenges. So in this webinar, we'll be sharing insights on the impact of COVID-19 on business and service operations, various features which are developed in Servitium to address roadblocks, which include service center solutions and technicians, solution for call center, on-call query resolution, OEM service center, warranty and tax management. Then we'll be talking about customer do-it-yourself that we have developed. About this little housekeeping before we get started, your lines will remain muted during the session. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into your question box, which are there in your control panel. There will be a question and answer round at the end of the session, and we will address your question at the end. Also, this session is being recorded and we will be sharing the link with all of the participants post this webinar. So, just a little introduction, just to give you some brief about what is happening currently and to understand what really needs to be addressed owing to the current COVID crisis. There is no denying that COVID-19 is posing unprecedented challenges across industries and geographies, and the world has changed a lot. Companies are struggling to adjust to something which is called a new normal. Like we are also working from home, there are a lot of challenges that we are facing. So all those challenges need to be looked upon, and this becomes a new normal altogether. So I would say there is a definite shift not only in the buying behaviors but also the way consumer would seek after sales support services. The biggest challenge is to manage uncertainties while managing exceptional customer experience. And to do this, it's very imperative that companies put them in the shoes of their customers to optimize operational efficiencies. I think proactive approach is needed to create new engagement tools, leveraging technologies and innovative ways, which are needed to establish a better customer connect, which is very important this time. Just to tell your customer that, hey, don't worry, we are there for you. So we'll have to create all those sort of omni-channel support system which can enhance a better customer experience. But I would say a few technologies, for example, WhatsApp, which has been around for a while, I would say, but it is really high time that we deploy them to offer a digital sales service to customers, which can have on your time approach. Like here, if you can see here, gone are the days when we were only operational and only can be connected on a given specific time. It is high time that you offer some sort of support to a customer which is not linked to any specific time limit. So it should be on your time approach. I was talking about general awareness towards safety. There has been a paradigm shift in customers' preference from physical to a digital support. I think most of the customers now they emphasize on a digital support system rather than allowing technicians to visit to their premises. The idea is to allow a minimum number of visits of the authenticated technicians. And not only an optimized digital support helpdesk cuts down on the operating costs, but its availability and ease of use, which is in 24/7 environment, it creates a true customer delight. So having a very robust digital helpdesk is very, very important in the current business situation. Another area I would say here towards breaking boundaries is to empower call center executives to work in an ecosystem which is free from limitations of working from a specific location. This is an era of virtual engagement. I think everybody of us will agree to this, and thus it would be injustice to deprive them of a handy and efficient technology solutions. Any solution which we offer to the call center should be very much handy, so that no matter whether you're working from home or office, you should be able to perform all your duties. So these are the areas I think which needs to be addressed currently to manage operation in more efficient way, to optimize the operations, I would say. So today we're going to talk about how companies can keep on supporting and servicing their customers with impressively new ideas and techniques while in the state of partial lockdown. And to talk more on this, let me introduce to you our guest speaker for today. And I'm really honored to introduce Mr. Rakesh Gupta, Head of Services, Panasonic Life Systems India. Hi, Mr. Gupta. Thank you for joining in. How are you, sir?
I'm good, Rahul. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, sir, for taking out time and joining this webinar. I'm sure your thoughts will enlighten us to manage our operations in more efficient way. Mr. Gupta is a very seasoned professional with a rich experience of more than 18 years. He has spent almost his entire career in managing service operations uh, across wide range of product categories on a designated levels. He comes with an industry exposure from diverse fields ranging from biomedical, telecom services, home appliances, and also in the areas like electrical construction material industry. He is trained in over more than 7 different countries and has studied their operations in depth and has traveled to almost every corner of India. Uh, Having worked with reputed brands like BPL, Healthcare, Tata Sky, Airtel, Philips, Usha International, and Group SEB, Mr. Gupta has been managing national roles for MNCs, including French consortium Group SEB and Japanese conglomerate Panasonic, where currently he is working as a head of services for Anchor, which is known as Panasonic Life Systems. So now, without any further ado, I would request Mr. Gupta to take the lead from here
Yeah,
and share some valuable insights here. Mr. Gupta, over to you, sir.
yeah. Hi, Rahul. Thanks for getting me on board. And I must say that we are privileged to be a partner with a technology CRM partner with Path Infotech, with the kind of technological support we are getting from Path Infotech and the technical advancements which we are looking forward to the COVID-19. That's really great.
I'll just put my question across here, and we understand, and because all of us here, our larger audience would agree that there are certain challenges when while we are working from home, and these are the similar challenges we are going to talk about today to ensure that we have something called a business continuity, and everything isn't there even if you have a challenges. So what I meant to understand from you is have emerged for your organization? I would say specifically for Panasonic, if I may ask. And how do you see that these business priorities and objectives are changing as a result of the current situation? If you can throw some light on that, sir.
Rahul, if you discuss about challenges, what we do face today, the challenges are immense. So if you see that we are presently going through a black swan event, which was completely unprecedented over the last 2 months. Our world has changed forever. So it was something unexpected. It caused extreme disruptive impact on our services, on our everything. So if we discuss about challenges, then we'll have to be a little bit what is it assertive about the challenges what we do face today. So I would like to put on light on some of the points, like in terms of productivity. So productivity of individuals across the industries, across the departments is going to be a bigger challenges now. So how in terms of field services it is going to impact, we'll be having less work hours now. Previously the technicians were used to start early in the morning or used to work late in the evening, but now it is going to not be the same. Technicians would not be able to travel till the late evening, or they would not be working till the early morning, start being early morning. Besides that, there'll be health or COVID-19 fear among the field teams. There'll be several traveling restrictions. Previously, the traveling to the upcountry locations or to the consumers was quite easy, which is not the case now. So there'll be several restrictions. This is one of the challenge on the productivity part. So next would be on the manpower management. So it will be difficult to keep the guys engaged during this difficult COVID times. So as they are working from home or their technicians are moving into the field with several restrictions, it will be very difficult to keep them engaged. The second, as you rightly said, there's a complete paradigm shift in the customer expectation, the consumer thought process, the safety concerns of the consumers. It is going to play a major role in management of your manpower, keeping ourselves up to the consumer expectation levels. Then one major, I hope all of us have seen on the TV news, all of us have seen on the news channels, everywhere we are watching, there will be acute manpower shortage in the bigger towns. like in the metros or mini metros, like the state capitals, or in the Mumbai's, Delhi's, Hyderabad's, or the Bangalore's of India, will be facing a manpower challenge. The major of the technicians would have already migrated to the C or D or E class towns. The authorized service centers would not be able to work on their full capacities. There'll be a demand and supply gap in terms of manpower or in terms of skilled manpower catering to the service requirements, field service requirements. Now the guys who have been capable or the technically qualified I've spoken to some of our technicians, I've spoken to some of our authorized service centers. The field guys are now getting more interested working into the desk or factory jobs. They're saying, sir, we are the technical guys, we would be preferring a factory or an online assembly job if it is required to get ourselves occupied. In terms of occupation, they are looking forward to a desk job rather than roaming around, going to the consumer place, different places. Now there will be some field service enablers. So field service enablers, in terms, there will be delayed supply chain of spare parts. Your pipeline of spare parts will be affected. Previously, we were able to send the spare parts by air, or we were able to cater to the consumer requirements, product replacements immediately. We would not be having that luxury anymore. We'll have to plan spare parts pipeline will be choked now. Now, with reduced sales, obviously in all the organizations, there'll be a bottom line pressures. These bottom line pressures, end of the day, will result into service ecosystem also. We'll have to adopt optimization measures. Will result into service ecosystem also. We'll have to adopt optimization measures. Cost sometimes. So will be cost cutting measures, cash flow will be an issue. Service centers. Now less movement of service managers is also going to be a challenge. Previously, the service managers of the organizations, what do we call the service managers, they were used to travel from one place to another. They were used to visit the distributors or the service centers. So they were able to maintain the business hygiene, which is going to be a challenge today, I see. So these are few of the challenges on productivity, manpower management, or the service hygiene which we are going to face.
Yeah. So when you know these challenges, and I'm sure organization like Panasonic must have clearly demarcated these challenges and created some sort of, I would say, solution regarding that. So how is your organization addressing these challenges, sir?
These challenges are clearly related to the solutions we see. There's a famous saying from an ex-American President John F. Kennedy, and same has been said by our Prime Minister Mr. Modi as well. In a crisis, we have to be aware of the danger, but at the same time, we'll have to recognize the opportunity lying within that crisis. So yes, we have done several new initiatives. We have initiatives like in terms of productivity, which we already discussed. We have managed the technician timelines during the lockdowns. We have asked them to work in the early mornings till the when relaxation time is there. We have applied for thousands of e-passes, out of which we have got out 70% success in terms of e-passes we have got. Then in terms of manpower management, we have started using our resources more wisely or more optimal utilization, what we say, like the senior technicians which were there available with us, rather than sending them out in the field to attend a couple of complaints a day, we are using them for the technical assistance over phone to the ASC technicians, authorized service center technicians, or we are using them to manage spare parts for us in our warehouses. Now we had several virtual trainings, safety trainings, basic hygiene trainings. Then we have adopted several cost-effective unstoppable mindset also. Training to team without traveling. That's a new thing. Virtual training to the service center technicians. Nobody has thought of it. Then in terms of field services, it's all about tact. It's all about the response time we give to the consumers. So in this time, the going future, it will be have to be near to consumer. Will have to be as possible as near to the consumer. For this purpose, we cannot keep on appointing, or we cannot appoint service centers innumerably, or we cannot appoint manpower on our roles. So the freelancers or the resident service technicians and the almost a decade back, the service industry was working on the SSD model. So we'll have to relook and we'll have to go into the past and relook into the options which were there, sales and service distributor. Then in terms of field enablers, we will have to find innovative ideas to spare part management. We could have to look into our inventories, defective inventories from where we can get the spare parts. Exhaustive training programs need to be done. Then I'll come to the digital ID card, which was one of the innovation we have done. Digital ID cards which we got generated from Path Infotech has helped us a lot in the technician movement. Our technicians are able to move. They have been allowed in the field, barring couple of instances. We have been allowed fully. So this is what has happened during the lockdown. Essential services in the lockdown 2.0 has been allowed by the Home Ministry, Government of India. So that has helped the digital ID card. Then we have kept a constant connect with our consumers in this difficult times. A consumer gets irritated or a consumer gets impatient when he's not aware what's happening with his service request. So in these times, we'll have to be connected to the consumer. We'll have to update him on the every instance which is happening on his service request, when it is going to be attended, when we would be able to get him back, get in touch with the consumer back. So this was one of the point. And warranty extension. I hope most of the organizations have done the warranty extension. This was a welcome step in favor of the consumers. Then coming back to the authorized service centers, now these authorized service centers, irrespective of the organization they are working for, they do have a limited cash pipeline. They are not as big as the organization. We being the employees, we are being paid salaries, even being at home, work from home. But who will take care of the interest of these small guys? So we as a service organization, we are thinking for some advance payouts or TAT reconsideration. Previously, the payouts were purely based upon the TAT. Now we'll have to give a little reconsideration or reconciliation. Increasing payouts would not be possible to give in this difficult time when the war for profits is ongoing. But yes, we'll have to pay little attention to the small timers, service centers who are working for us since long. Now, motivational certificates, we have given some motivational certificates in this COVID times to the technicians. It has done wonders for us because these are the technicians who are working day in, day out, risking their lives, moving in the field. So this is done. And most importantly would be the team management. How does it manage the team management? Going forward in the new normal, Rahul San, we would not be able to work in isolation or in silos. We'll have to work in complete concurrence with other departments, whether it would be sales or logistics or supply chains. So a strong quantifiable connect need to be developed with the other relevant departments in the organization. Then only we would be able to pave our way for the success in the going forward times. For every passing day, this situation is going to be there for the long haul. It's not a sprint or a 100-meter race. It's going to be a marathon. So we'll have to be optimizing our cost. We'll have to reduce our weights, improving our competitiveness, effectiveness to serve our consumers better and make us ourselves future ready.
Absolutely, absolutely, sir. So, in fact, so what I can understand here that while we are striving for a stable future, I think all these technologies that you are talking about, while you're deploying it to ensure that you have a better customer connect, do you really think that this customer connect by way of this technology is actually helping our organization to work in a right direction?
Yeah. So, yes, as rightly asked by you, also, in these difficult times, consumers are looking for trust and safety. This challenging times, they would not experiment even if they must pay a premium, or consumers will not deviate in such times. They would like to go with trusted partners, trusted technicians, and the trusted brand. And brand, if you ask me, it's a promise to the consumer. Brand service is a promise to the consumer, promise of products, services. And then nowadays, going forward, the brands are going to be evaluated how true the brand is to what it has promised to their consumers in terms of services. The brand which delivers a bit more is considered to be a better one. So in terms of technology support for going forward in the future or in the opportunity segment, technology is going to play a major role, which I think you also touched upon during your presentation. So the going forward, although it may be dependent upon the niche segment, but as IoT or the connected products, remote troubleshootings, video service. If you ask me, video service was an ideology till now. IoT, connected products, it was an ideology which all of us have been speaking into our marketing presentations.
Right.
But post
Right.
COVID, it becomes necessity. So as in the during the lockdown, most of us have learned to work from home. Internet connectivity is all time high. I've been reading one of the article recently where it has said that there's a 22% increment in the broadband connections at Indian residents in the A and B class town. 22% high. So most of the people are now getting connected. Housewives are celebrating their kitty parties on just for the lighter note. They're on the Zoom. So everybody has got internet savvy now. So IoT, connected product service, and DIY. So I have during my some of the visits at Japan, I have seen the DIY is paying very much big role in their services. Consumer assembling entire modular kitchen on their own. They are assembling their bathrooms on their own. So DIY is going to be the next future. Consumers would be more interested into that. Then geotagging. Now most of us are listening from our service centers that, sir, I would not be able to move into this because it's a red zone or a containment zone. What we need to look forward to is to geotagging of the consumers and mapping it along with our mobile application, which I'm sure of that already available with Path Infotech. This will be important so that a technician before visiting, he must be aware that whether the consumer to whom I am going to visit is residing in a containment zone or a geotagging need to be done. Then in terms of contact center, way forward, contact centers will no more remain as a phone receiving centers. Huh? They are going to play a major role in terms of telephonic resolutions. Virtual contact center will be the future. IVRs are going to play a very major role. Bots will have to look it through mobile application, WhatsApps, alternate medium of service requisition. Bots need to be implemented immediately in terms of cost optimization as well as to the ease to the consumer. We'll have to have some harmonic relationships with the consumers. As far as consumer behavioral pattern, Rahul San, as you rightly asked, it is going to change a lot. We'll have to drive our directions in relevant with the end consumer. Relevance with the end consumer. We'll have to engage most of the consumers with social media platforms, on Twitter, on Facebooks of India, their concerns, queries. We'll have to rapidly adapt to this change. We'll have to channelize our resources, our contact center resources, or whatever the resources we have available through digital and social connect platforms. Digital space is going to be very dominant and we have to be actively involved to stay connected to our end consumers. That's what the future is going to be. We have been caught between doing our best to our customers during the lockdown. That's what we'll have to look into. We'll have to be ready for what is going to be unprecedented.
Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, I can see a lot of suggestions, a lot of forecasting that you can make, and I'm really thankful that you shared such a detailed and insightful experience and also recommendations for the coming time. I'm sure your thoughts and suggestions are going to help us in managing the operation in a more optimized manner. And while you talked about the challenges and also the kind of technology one can adopt, I'll again resume my slide, which is the next slide here, to talk about the solution which internet connectivity here.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I'll be resuming on the slide again, the innovation to support operation while in partial lockdown. And so while you lost your audio, we were discussing on the electronic ID card only, which is already deployed in Panasonic. And I'll take the opportunity to explain what the solution is all about. This is an ID card to technicians and service centers through the Servidium CRM. So what we did is we gave the functionality to download all the technician apps on the mobile itself. And let's understand why the need was there. So one is for the safety and identity of the technician, like Mr. Gupta, you said, that it's very imperative that technicians they carry an authenticated ID card from authorized competent authority. So yes, for the safety and identity of technician, an outdoor movement is not possible without ID card, and also to generate trust and safety to the customers, to tell the customer that this is the right person who is coming to your place. So all those validation needs to be done. What we did is we shared a link to engineer via SMS to upload the photographs. So simply clicking on a link on the SMS, your technicians can upload a picture which needs to be approved by a verifying authority, and then the facility to download ID card on the phone. So this is a new feature which is developed on Savitium Technician app, where simply uploading a picture, you can actually download this ID card. So the benefits which we have jotted down here. So one is the technician of the franchisee has the ID cards, especially today when there's a lot of checking happening in while you're moving across districts, across geographies. So to show that they are education and represent an established organization, the moment it's possible in a way with the ID card, and it must be displayed in every street, society, and home. At this time, before allowing any engineer in the house, the customer would also like to be sure that the person who is coming is the representative of the same company. Because let's take the fact that even if we were to call some technician, we would like to see whether this is the right person who's coming to me or any unauthorized person who is visiting to my place. Because like I said initially, it is very important and there is a new dimension of safety which needs to be addressed. So this is the scheme of flow talks about this electronic ID card where which is coming from a defined area. Now this area can be defined as red, amber, and green as per the government data. So on first time basis, you can very well see from the system that whether it is from the zone or zone and whatnot. Based on the pin, you can very well check whether this is a serviceable pin code or not. Once this call is signed, this technician can visit the customer while downloading this ID card, which can happen by simple. If you see here, you upload the docs, government compliance also, and any other doc that you want to upload from the app, you can do it, and then the approved electronic ID card can be downloaded. So this is one thing that we've implemented. Here, what happens is the authenticity of the technician is done by way of this electronic ID card, and this can serve purpose for various sort of checking across boundaries and geographies. So this is one solution. I was talking about the solution to the call center. So like Mr. Gupta was talking about, it is high time that your call center should not be treated as a standard way of registering tickets, but now they should be offered benefits.
I think internet connectivity issues, that's Rahul Sanfes.
Sorry. Yeah, it is coming in and out. I'm so sorry. My Wi-Fi router is going bad every time. Yeah, sorry. I'll resume from here again. So I was talking about the call center solution. So this solution is initially when the entire infra was given at a workstation and your technician was logging complaints from the web. Now, by way of a Savitium dealer app, which can be offered to the call center executives also to register a call. So no matter whether they are sitting in an office or they are sitting working from home or from any other location, they can very well do that on their mobile itself. They can register a complaint also, and they can also track the service request. So like initially, we were having application for customers. Now we can also have an application for the call center, which is an entirely new thing today. Which ensures mobility and agility to the call center executives. So let's understand why the need happened here. Due to the call center being completely non-functional, the biggest problem facing by the organization is loss of contact with the customer. So what we did is calls were redirected to agent mobiles with the help of new software. So you can deploy one software where all the calls, in spite of that being routed through EPBX machines, now they can be routed through a software, and then all these call center executives can get a direct calls on their mobiles, and by way of Savitium dealer app, they can register a call on the mobile itself. So I'll just show you the scheme here, the flow, what happened here. So the customer, it was routed to a traditional call center where there was a need to sit in the office and take the call. Now, by way of call center management solution, the calls can be routed to agents' mobile directly, and by way of a dealer app, they can register and inquire on the status of the call. Like I said, we have done PIN code based restrictions based on red, amber, and green zones. So while I'm creating a call, I can very well tell my customers that I was talking about. So one is customer calling on a designated number, which was routed to a digital call center at the top, which is now routing through a call center software. Agents, they're getting calls on their mobile numbers directly. And while I'm creating a call, I can tell to the customer that your PIN code is non-serviceable because this is in containment zone. Or if this is serviceable, I can actually suggest my customer the right time which it would take for somebody to visit. So you have an area definition. But yes, this is a work which needs to be done by the OEM itself. You upload the PIN codes, and based on that, whether it will be a serviceable or non-serviceable, system can determine. Validation on complaint registration and warranty registration extension. So any extension in terms of warranty, if you wish to give, that can also be offered here, especially during this period of lockdown. If you wish to extend the warranty of your devices, you can do it. The solution can be offered to a call center also. Then one area which Mr. Gupta was talking about, and we realize that this is very, very important in the current situation, is on-call query resolution, which is to offer a very robust help desk system. So not only the customer registration and tracking, but I think there can be other inquiry things that need to be catered. So because of lockdown, no field service can happen for a product, and most of the queries coming on the call center. So what we offered is we created a general inquiry module for Servidium CRM, where not only the service request but other information like product manuals, product warranty, part, and any other offer can be told to the customers. So these calls can be routed either to a specific set of people by way of email or by simple call routing, where this person can be sharing details on various things apart from services. So this gives a broadens, I would say, the area of total help desk. So here, so not only the service is what one can talk about, but also based on the area definition, which is red, amber, and green, you can tell your customer about the product manuals. You have a warranty mechanism, registration and validation. You can tell your customer about the product price, which currently is not happening in. Your service team can only talk about the service domain, but here we can extend this to other areas, including product price, part price, any offer which is coming in. You can communicate to your customers over the phone or over chat or WhatsApp. We are also coming with WhatsApp solution that I'll be talking about in the later phase here. Any bulk need and other inquiries that can be routed through a on-call query resolution. Another piece here to talk about is warranty and task management, especially when it was a very long lockdown of 2 months. If you wish to extend the warranty, like a couple of companies, they already have taken the preemptive measure to extend the warranty. So let's understand why was this need there. The customers whose product warranty is going to expire during the lockdown, I'm sure you would want to extend the warranty. Since no field service could be offered in this situation, and for the well-being of the service center, you can very well extend the warranty through the web interface at the backend. And so one is you extend the warranty. Second is you also reschedule the preventive maintenance. So any PM call which was scheduled during the lockdown can be automatically rescheduled the moment you extend the warranty. So let's say you apart from you had a 1 year warranty, and now you wish to offer 1 year to 1 month, 1 year 2 month warranty. So your PM calls will also be, automatically be rescheduled further. And any sort of stat calculation can also be revised, which can hold good for your service center. So what we did is extended the warranty of product by 2 to 3 months, and has instructed their service centers for any such calls. So when your call center, they are getting called, and while your customers might be feeling skeptical whether my product is in warranty or not, so your call center executive can very well tell to your customer that your your any calls has been registered and your warranty has been extended for another 2 months or 3 months. So they changed the base of the TAT calculation also. So for the service center. So what will happen is all the out of warranty calls which have been serviced at no charge are included in the service center claim after approval. Keeping in view the well-being of the service center, the companies have decided to base the TAT calculation from the end of the lockdown date, not from the call registration date. So if your call is registered, your product is very well in warranty. No matter whether the lockdown is extended for a month or 2 or 3, your product is very well in the warranty. And this is also based on a specific need of an OEM. If you want the TAT to be calculated from the lockdown date or from the date of registration, all those things can be configured. So you can take use of this module. The organization not only focused on the TAT of service done during this time and is planning to give relaxation while finalizing the service claim. So when you are calculating the service claims, any sort of penalty can also be taken care here because of non-movement of the technician. So auto penalty will not be imposed, because you also understand initially if you have a 3-day TAT and your technician can't move in the field, in that case this penalty should not be adjusted against the payout. So system takes care of this thing because of any delay in the service. Another area is the OEM call center, which I talk about warranty and tax management. So warranty expiration is one thing where PM calls are deferred and warranty is extended, and second is relaxation to the service centers where TAT adherence relaxation, TAT penalty removal, and reinforcement after the lockdown. So that is what is taken care here. And the very important aspect here, like Mr. Gupta was also talking about, is DIY. So which is the need of the day today. You would want your customer to be empowered enough to manage their service needs also, if not complete, at least most of it. So why the need exists here? To enable customer to use their product in season. Coolers and AC are generally cleaned at the beginning of the season, and all information about it being shared with the customer. So what we did is guidance and assistance to the customers on cleaning and minor fixing. So there can be product usage tips, there can be troubleshooting tips, which can be made available on the customer app. So a lot of functionalities we have added in the customer app to empower your customers through by way of tips and how to use section. So I'll just show you here. So one is how to use section. Second is troubleshooting tips. Video, PDF, and images can be made available based on the product and model. Very important development that we did very recently is the customer WhatsApp. In fact, we already have made WhatsApp live to a couple of accounts. But for a larger audience here, we have made the customer WhatsApp live with the user manual. We have made troubleshooting tips available, necessary documents and receipts available on the WhatsApp. So now that you have a limitation in terms of manpower, like Mr. Gupta was talking about, shortage of manpower. So in spite of you only relying more on your call center, you can empower your customers with this WhatsApp feature, where if I'm writing something, a predefined text, I'll be able to download these sort of information. I can track my service request. I can register my service request through WhatsApp itself. And then you have an on-call query resolution, which is guided troubleshooting. It can be, so this can be a IVR-based guided troubleshooting, preventive health check, guided cleaning and preventive maintenance, FAQs, extra care tips, location-specific tips, all those things you can very well see here in the system. So that's all from my end. Maybe we'll proceed further now, and we'll take certain questions here. Just a little reminder to everyone: please be sure to type your questions into the question box in your control panel. It looks so you have certain questions. Please do let us know. So we'll take up the question now, and we'll try to cover as many questions as we can. So I would request my colleague Yogita, if she has a question. Mr. Gupta, thank you for your time and your inputs. And if we have some questions for you, we will speak out. Yeah.
Thanks, Rahul San. Thanks for getting me on this panel. I was glad to share my views over the COVID impact. And one thing which I would like to ensure again, and one thing which I'd like to put more and more emphasis, which I've been doing in my team meetings also, that being a service managers, it is our primary duty to take as much as precautionary measures to ensure the health and safety of our technicians who are there day in day out in the field, and we'll have to have a zero tolerance policy. We'll have to avoid any risk factor to our technicians. That's the most important thing. That numbers may be relatively low, up and down, suboptimal performances. This may go on, but the safety and security
Yeah,
and the health of our technicians is have to be on the top priority for everyone. Best wishes from my side.
absolutely. So, Yogita, if you can narrate the questions because I'm not able to see
Sure,
here.
sure, Rahul. And thank you so much, Rakesh sir and Rahul, for the wonderful insights here. So let's proceed for the Q&A session. So I have one question for you, Rahul, from Mr. Anand Talwar. He's saying if we are giving warranty extension to customers, how we would manage PMS calls in our system. So I think we were talking about the solution warranty extension we have provide to the customer. So he just wanted to know ki if I am giving warranty extension to the customer like 2 months or 3 months, so is there any
Hmm.
option that we can manage the PM or how it would be done?
Okay, great. Thank you, sir, for your query here on the PM system. So while we are managing your warranty from the system itself, all your PMs are automatically generated. I'm sure there must be a number of calls which are scheduled for the lockdown also. So the moment you extend your warranty, all your PMs auto schedule for the time. Either it can be done manually or you can actually rearrange these calls automatically. So let's say you extend two months warranty, your PM will be automatically rescheduled for another 2 months later time. So this can be done manually also and automatically. This entire scheme can be created as per your needs. Sir.
Okay. Thank you, Rahul. One question is from Mr. Ankush. He's saying about the EID card. He says EID card is a good idea, but do you feel download option at technician end is a good idea, as the technician is not a part of our organization, or he's not no more working with our organization? So could you please help us on this?
It's like I was talking about, sir, and thank you, Ankush. It's a very thoughtful question here because this talks about the safety also and validation of the technique. So I would say here, while you are uploading the pictures, it needs to be approved by the service center. So your service center very well know whether this is the right person or not. So then only it gets approved, and only the approved ID cards can be downloaded here. So even if I upload a picture, I may not be able to download the ID card unless it is approved at the service center. So this is one. Now at the same time, you have the option to disable the ID cards sometimes if you're not using it, and this ID card just on your technician app itself. And while you're doing this, there is an option to see the validity period also. You can very well see in the period from when until when the ID card is valid. So while having these features, I think those compliances can be taken care here.
Okay. So I hope, Ankush sir, I think this would be a better answer, and I think we can discuss it
Yes,
more
and you know,
if
I would like to add one more thing, and say I just remember that I was talking to my delivery team also, head of delivery, Mr. Amit also. We got to know that
yeah.
we are also working on QR code generation on the ID card very soon, because this is the first solution that we came up. While we are addressing
Mhm.
this challenge, we are trying to fine tune this process, and we are coming up with a QR code also. So anybody wanting to authenticate the person, he can very well scan the QR code to check whether this is an authentic card or not. That is also a solution we are working on.
Oh, that's
So we
great.
will
I mean,
share all the details very soon. Yeah.
sure. Okay. One more question from Mr. Santosh. So he's saying while we download the total number of pending calls, then why not, I think, download total open calls report? I think this is a question related to services, or I think support part. So we will answer you, Santosh sir, and we will definitely coordinate with you if you have any questions related to support. So let's move to the next question. So Rahul, the next question is from Miss Neetu. She wanted to ask, is there any challenge to save the data in mobile application while on call with customers? I think she is talking about if she used to start the dealer mobile application for the call registration and she's on the call. So that time there could be any
Okay.
challenges he can face, or what if you can suggest here?
Wow, wonderful. Very relevant question here, and thank you, Neetu, for asking this. When you say that while you're using a mobile app at the same time getting call also, very similar problem to what we are facing today also in this webinar. When your electricity goes off, you are connected on a mobile data. And when you have a mobile data, the moment you get a call, there's chances that you lose that data. And this is a very generic problem which is coming in. So what solution we have made it here in the Dealer app, if you have entered any information and you get a call, and once your call is disconnected, you see the data is not lost. We ensure that every data that you enter it in the app, even if you do not save it, that rests on the app itself till the time you do not shut down the application. So as long as your application is on, your data is not lost. So you don't worry on that. We have tested it at every level, and we have ensured to cover up these challenges. So be very sure, sir, and ma'am, that we have taken note of it and we have made those corrections.
Okay. Thank you, Rahul. One more question. I think we are receiving multiple questions from the people. The question is from Mr. Shailesh Tiwari. He wants to add about the WhatsApp. So he wants to say how WhatsApp would be benefit to the customer care in coming time. How if he start using as a service platform to it, so how it could be benefit for the organization.
Hi, Shailesh, and it's good that you asked this question. Why? Because I think WhatsApp, like I said, there are a lot of technologies which have been around for a while. It is high time that we use it. WhatsApp is a platform which is widely accepted across everyone. So one very important aspect is, and I would say it will open a huge area. I cannot list on every aspect, but one thing is your load at the call center will be reduced to a drastic level for sure. Companies managing about 1 lakh call a month or 2 lakh call a month. The moment you have a WhatsApp feature, I'm 100% sure that it will be less than 50% of the call volume when it comes to taking the status of a call. So one is registry. Second, in spite of I standing on a queue on a caller, I would prefer to enter my ticket number and see the status. So one is this. Second is any sort of product manual and tips and whatnot that can be taken out easily on WhatsApp. And once you keep on populating new features and new things, like if I talk about which is in beta version we are doing, which is a chatbot feature. So where if you talk in your industry, Mr. Shadir, I understand your business domain also, where your AHT, which is average handling time, which is very, very high in query resolution, and most of them are very generic in nature, you can cut down on AHT. You reduce on the operational cost for the call center. This WhatsApp, the moment you have reduced AHT, you can deploy this amount, this commercial, this piece to create new things. And chatbot is one of the things. So once you have chatbot in place, no doubt about it, there will be endless possibilities that will open. You name a question and the answer will be there within a click of a mouse, I would say. And you can keep populating it because this is more of a machine learning. Any new question which is coming, it adds to your data bank. So next time, even if a question cannot be addressed today, next time when this person asks the same question, that can be addressed in the right way and in a more efficient way. So reducing manpower is one thing, and having a 24/7 approach is another thing. I think this is going to work. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Rahul. One more question from Mr. Suhas. So he's saying we are ensuring about the technician safety or the customer safety. So we are saying we are giving a solution with a digital ID card. But as of now, the basic essential things are mask, sanitizer, or temperature check, etc. All those available, all those things are available. So can we think of a solution to track these things also?
Yeah,
So he's talking about.
in fact, sorry.
No problem. You can proceed.
Okay. So what I could understand, I think, Mr. Swad, and thank you asking for this question. You're trying to understand whether technicians who are visiting, they are compliant enough, whether they are managing all these safety norms, whether they are doing that. So this is more of a manual thing that needs to be addressed. Although we can have a checklist, and we were planning to have it, and this can be actually done based on our consensus, where we can create a checklist. Every technician before the start of a call can enter the checklist whether the mask is there, or if you want their feature or one checklist to be embedded on a customer page while I'm giving my feedback on a service call, customer can select on the checklist whether the technician was registered, he was wearing the mask or not, whether he used sanitizer before the start of the work, or whether he was managing all sort of requirement. He was taking care of that, if yes or no. So those answers, I think, can be answered by the customer, and we hence can create a checklist on the customer app. And this is very much doable. Subject to your suggestion, we can very much make it incorporated on your app.
Okay. Thank you, Rahul. One more, I think, last question is from Mr. Harshal. So he's saying if agent is using a mobile phone while working at home, so is there any possibility he can download or see the report on mobile itself?
I would say here, because this platform is entirely right-based and hierarchy-based, if you have assigned rights to a given user to download or to view only, yes, he'll be able to download that piece of information only. So this is one thing. However, any specific report, if you any system. So yes, one is my generic features or generic reports, which are like I was talking about product manuals or troubleshooting guides. So which are product and model specific. So these are all downloadable, and technician app and customer app, they can very well work on offline mode also. The moment you download it, it will stay to your mobile. So this is one thing. Second is any specific report. If that report is assigned to this person, then only he'll be able to download. So let's say I am a supervisor. The other one is a simple technician, and there is a report of my team performance which is assigned to a supervisor. Then the supervisor will be able to download that specific report only, which can be based on a period. It can be daily, weekly, monthly, and this holds good for a dashboard also. I'm sure most of the people and the larger audience here would agree that we have come up with a new dashboard which is already made available, and this dashboard can be based on a period. It can be weekly, daily, or monthly. So one is seeing that. Second is downloading that. If the rights are signed, you can very well download also. Although I would say not every organization would like their technician to download the report, as long as it is available. So yes, so we can do that.
Okay. So I think this is the time, Rahul, we can wrap up now. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Rahul, you would like to say something at the end?
Yeah, I would say yes. If and I'm really obliged here to say, if you are coming up with question, which means I think some of the solution are, I think you will also agree that they are of much of use. I would love to answer any specific question over the mail also, or we can connect one-on-one. People already have my email and phone numbers, but still, once we are sending this recorded to you, you can very well reply on to that, or you can send me an email. So I would say with this, we come to the end of this webinar, and I would like to thank once again everyone for taking the time and joining us, and we really appreciate you being here. I'm sure and I hope that you found this session interesting and informative. Not because of the time constraint, we are not able to cover all the solution, but I try to cover up as much as can. And once again, thank you very much, Rakesh sir, for your time and your valuable insights for the current business scenario, sir. And for the audience, if you have any further question for us, do email me. My email ID is reflecting here. My email ID is rahul.mishra1@pathinfotech.com. As I said, we'll be sharing the recording of this webinar once to you all after this webinar. Thank you once again for joining, and we'll see you next time. Thank you, Rakesh sir. Bye.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you. Thanks, sir.
Thanks.